Policy and Politics with me, Tarun Nangia. We today discuss a very important policy decision that Government of India has taken. Prime Minister Narendra Modi informed via tweet also, where he said a very important cabinet decision has been taken of the constitution of the National Turmeric Board. As we know, turmeric is one of the very ancient spices that have been cultivated in India for thousands of years. And we are looking at an export of $1 billion, which is 8,500 crores worth of turmeric every year by 2030, which means India will also take care of the world's health. Because as we all know, turmeric is good for health. It's got anti-cancer properties. It's a very positive decision that the cabinet has taken. And let's start discussing this decision. We will first introduce the panel. I have with me Gopal Krishna Agarwal. He is a spokesperson for economic affairs for the Bharatiya Janata Party and a board member. Good to see you, Mr. Agarwal, again, and looking forward to some very interesting insights that you always give for various topics. Looking forward to your insights. I have with me Dr. Ranjit Mehta. He is Executive Director at the PhD Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Good to see you again, Dr. Mehta. He will give us insights on the industry perspective and the agriculture economy perspective. Over to you, Gopalji, for your first answer. What is the intent behind this decision of the government?
There are two issues, I think, on the aspect of this turmeric board. One thing is that Prime Minister has been successively trying to develop and catalyze those areas where India has good potential to be global leadership. And as you have mentioned, and the Prime Minister has also mentioned in his tweet and in his statement in mygov.in, and PIP has also said that Prime Minister's intention is also there to increase the farmers' income and this value addition into these areas. And also he has also mentioned that there is a big potential for growing of turmeric in the northeast area, and that's also important. So three important aspects are being covered under this initiative. One thing is that the medicinal value included into the turmeric, the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda, which extensively talks about the different formulations and values that turmeric has. That is one aspect which the Prime Minister wants to bring to the world about that. Second is it will help into the development of agricultural and organic farming that the Prime Minister has been promoting in Northeast India's areas. That is the second. And third thing is that it will bring a value addition to the farmers through growth of this and increase their income. So these three things are important, but the focused approach that the Prime Minister has always been talking, whatever India or country wants to do, there has to be a focused approach, because ideas, if they are not implemented on the ground and they are not connected to the value addition or revenue models or income generation for the people who are involved into that area, then it doesn't becomes very fruitful. So he wants to create value addition at the farm level. At the same time, he wants government approach, supportive approach to the whole sector. And like the way he has done it for the millet. The millet was a big area in India. Many people were growing, but even domestically, people were not knowing about its value addition, how it is good for health. And at the global level, nobody was understanding or knowing about the potential for the millet. So now, in the last 2-3 years specifically, with even the United Nations have started the millet year. So the focus approach on the millet it has created a big value for our farmers. So similarly, every aspects like this or areas which can bring more value to the farmers is being promoted by the Prime Minister.
Point well taken. I take go to Dr. Ranjit Mehta from PhD for his opening comment.
Thank you very much, Tarun. In fact, very valid point made by Mr. Agrawal. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Honorable Prime Minister of India for coming out with such an innovative approach towards increasing the income of the farmers, as Mr. Agrawal has also emphasized. So, like India is the largest producer of turmeric in the world. But despite that, I think the benefit of this is not going to the farmers. This is for the first time, Government of India under Prime Minister Modi has thought of making this board, which is a very innovative step, not only towards strengthening our farmers, but also strengthening the MSME sector, thereby increasing the export potential of our country. If the small farmers in far-flung areas, they are given this opportunity to grow turmeric, and they are connected to the global market, it will not only help the world in keeping their health well, because turmeric has a value, which is the therapeutic value, therapeutic propensities it has. So it is not only going to get income for the farmers, but also going to help people all over the world in maintaining a good health. As Prime Minister always says that Vasudhaiva Eva Kutumbakam, that means one family, one earth. So this also emphatically promotes his vision. So therefore, I think this is a superb idea, and small farmers in quite remote villages also can be connected to this activity. Just imagine a farmer sitting in far-flung area, he's connected through the e-commerce. Today, everybody is connected with e-commerce. He can export, imagine, to America or to any other country in the world, this turmeric. This will increase his value. This will increase his economic value. He'll get income. Also, it will create opportunities for many small entrepreneurs, MSMEs in those areas who otherwise do not.
It is very interesting, Dr. Mehta, you bring up this because these days people have turmeric tea. Turmeric latte has become very popular. So these kind of new drinks have come in the market. Traditionally, people used to have milk in turmeric. Now turmeric tea has also come in the market.
This has been potentially proved by COVID. During the COVID time, one of the very effective medicine, or one of the very effective Ayurvedic, tool that was used is to protect yourself from COVID was turmeric tea, as you rightly said.
So I'll go to Gopal Krishna Agarwal from the BJP. I want to ask you two things. Now government is going in a very methodical manner. First thing, the board that they are making will have a chairperson that the central government will appoint. Members will be appointed under the chairman from the Ayush Ministry, Department of Pharmaceuticals, Agriculture, and Commerce and Industry Ministry also. And representatives from various states will be appointed to that board. So basically turmeric producing states in this, and also research experts will be there who are part of that board. It also says, the document also says that turmeric farmers and exporters will also be part of the board so that they can give inputs. And the secretary that the Department of Commerce will appoint, that also will be there. So it will be a very comprehensive body. Do you think government is now going in a very methodical manner for pushing turmeric exports? Some data I'll share with you that India is the largest producer of turmeric. Second, around 3.3 lakh hectares is already being, in a sense, cultivated. Turmeric cultivation is the largest in the world, and around 12 lakh tons, which is 75% of the global turmeric production India is doing, which is they are a monopoly here. And the largest states of turmeric currently are Maharashtra, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. Northeast is catching up very fast in organic turmeric. So you mean to achieve its $1 trillion export target, do you think government is tapping into these agricultural sectors also?
Definitely, what is happening is, as I said in my opening remark, that millet, the way millet was a success story and has created value, big value for the farmers, in addition to the health benefits that the people are getting out of the millet product. That's important. Similarly, what I would like to mention is we were always talking in India about the medicinal value of turmeric, as you said, and Ranjitji said that we were all using from the our household that if you have cough, cold, or anything, you take the milk with turmeric, boiled milk with turmeric, and same thing, it creates resistance. Even in the Ayurvedic product like various products which are used for beauty, face wash, etc., they are also using turmeric. So
Yes.
everybody was talking in the old household about the medicinal value of turmeric. But at the same time, there were also talks we were hearing that some of the countries or international companies were patenting their own products based on turmeric. And India was losing out of this important knowledge base that it had from through its Ayurvedic knowledge. So that was also important, that we should have a proper research oriented approach to this whole aspect, where its medicinal values get properly researched and they get properly patented. India gets to the benefit, bottom of the benefit of these products, and they get their own patent. I think this will also help into developing various patent which can create a big value on patent also, and at the same time for the farmers. So the thing is that patent, Ayurveda knowledge, medicinal value, awareness about the people about its medicinal values, create more market and more consumers for the product, and at the same time creating research development for creating better products in the turmeric. All these things requires a very focused approach. And what I think is the Prime Minister takes small steps on various issues and with focused approach, and which can bring big change into the sector. So this is the total approach which I think that at present, though it is a very small market globally, but it has a big potential that has been identified by the Prime Minister, and it will create a big value, economic value for the country and the farmers.
Now, very interestingly, the government note says that the export markets for Indian turmeric are Bangladesh, United Arab Emirates, America, and Malaysia. 380 exporters are currently engaged in business, and they export more than 1,800 crores worth of turmeric. Government wants to make it 4 times. The time frame is also nice. You're getting about 6 years. They're saying 2030. Dr. Mehta, do you feel that this will emerge as a large area given the multiple uses of turmeric, from medicinal to, in a sense, to your teas, because it's got curcumin, so anti-cancer? Do you think that this is a brand that India can develop? Because you're with PhD and you are also representing brand India in a way. What do you feel about this push?
Yeah, definitely. What the Prime Minister is doing is he's creating an ecosystem for creating value out of this turmeric, which is not only used in medical for medical ailments, but also, as Mr. Agrawal said, it has a value in enhancing beauty. And more people are becoming health conscious all over the world, not only in India, and they are believing in Indian kind of solutions, most people. And Indians are also all over the world. Therefore, the country's name which you just gave right now, they are importing around 1800 crores of turmeric from India. But the way we promote this, we have seen in past also, whatever the Prime Minister does, he always thinks of size and scale. This has been the main hallmark of Mr. Modi. So we are very confident the way the board has been constituted, the way there has been a focus on research and development, that will also include that how the turmeric can be used in various other aspects in enhancing the health of the people all over the world, and how this turmeric can be really useful in many other usages, which probably we also do not know much. So this we know as Indians, in every house, turmeric is being used, and this has been noticed and proved during COVID time that people who were having turmeric, or most of Indians in our food we have turmeric, so they were the least affected by COVID kind of a disease. So therefore, there are ample data to prove that how the turmeric can be used. Now, by making the board, what the Prime Minister has done, what Indian government has done, is to formalize it, to make an ecosystem, to make a framework, so that this can be increased in size and scale both. Like, it is becoming an organized kind of a sector where everybody will have a opportunity to grow, and especially there's a lot to be done by the startups in this space. We have seen that right now startups are coming in only technology. So through the technology,
Agri startups.
Yeah, agri startups, there can be a lot of research. I think there's a lot to offer to the world.
In fact, I because you say this, I remember long ago I had read an article in a magazine in 2005. Honey exporters in Punjab were doing revenues of 400 crores, 500 crores way back in 2005.
Yeah.
And honey is, it doesn't need too much of, as you call it, plant and machinery. So, but people could achieve that kind of turnover. A single exporter manufacturer doing 700 crores on honey is a big deal. In the same way,
the best thing, sorry to interrupt you, the best thing in turmeric is it is a very durable product. You don't need cold chain kind of a thing. You can just ripe it, and it can last long. So therefore,
in fact, I will in fact like to highlight even turmeric pickles. They are something which India has been traditionally producing, and pickles have a long shelf life, and it's also. But I'll take this to Mr. Gopal Krishna Agarwal here. So there are two things that I want to know from you. The government has a 2030 vision of $1 billion of turmeric export, which means it will not be just turmeric but derivatives. It can be pickles, it can be tea, it can be tea bags, it can be so many other derivatives which has turmeric. We have 380 exporters. While researching for this show, I spoke to Aruna Sharma, IS officer, and she explained to me how Bundelkhand, which is a dry area, there also turmeric cultivation has begun currently. So that is also being brought into turmeric cultivation. Do you think our aim of achieving, in a sense, jobs for the youth can be realized through such initiatives? Because I think in Skill India, even this is an initiative that agriculture requires more people traditionally, even now. Can you reflect on both the employment aspect of turmeric and the potential that we have 500 exporters or 600 from the present 380 when we go from 1800 to 8500 crores export, which is 1 billion?
I think, Tarunji, the main objective of the whole setting up the board and promoting turmeric is direct employment generation is one aspect, which is definitely there if new areas are developed and promoted. But the main focus area in this whole initiative is about increasing the farmers' income and adding into the farmers' income. That's very important. The basic problem in our agriculture, low income, is because so many people are involved into limited areas of produce, and they are not able to get proper, because sometimes the overproduction creates a lot of fall in the prices. And if they grow such kind of cash crops, which are value addition to their crops, and they diversify into different areas which can bring more value to their produce, is an important aspect. And turmeric is one such area which can give high value to farmers and increase their income, one thing. And second is important of our aspect of this promoting the areas where our knowledge, ancient knowledge, is properly patented, and we get the proper value realization of that knowledge, and we do not lose on some patents which are rightly due to our country. That's a second aspect. I think the third is surely employment generation will be there, but ultimately, if farmers' income is increased, definitely it is going to help a lot to the almost 57% of our population is dependent on agriculture, and their income is very low in contributing to the GDP. If areas like this turmeric and other honey, etc., which you have said, which can create cash crops and new areas of income generation for farmers, their contribution to the GDP will increase manifold. That's, I think, an important aspect in the mind of the Prime Minister.
Okay, okay. I'll go to Dr. Ranjit Mehta from PhD. Tell me, when you aspire for a 1 trillion export target, which is about $1,000 billion, such streams do help reach that target with, it is called the aggregation of minor gains. You have minor gains in every area, be it agriculture, be it auto component, be it other sectors like pharma. Then you come to a big figure. Do you think agriculture's potential in India is yet to be realized and will be realized with these kind of initiatives? Because turmeric is one. Our other Gopal Krishna Garwalji also mentioned millets. So these are newer areas where we are focusing, where we earlier didn't focus.
You're right, Tarun. In fact, India is called the food basket of the world today. We are producing, a lot of grains, but at the same time, you're right that these kind of initiatives, these are very, very innovative initiatives. They are going to contribute to the economy in manifold. It will generate employment, create opportunity for our farmers, which is the main focus of the government of India right now. So therefore, and more than 60%, people in India are dependent on agriculture. So these kind of initiatives, I'll say like millet or this turmeric board, and I would also add one more product, which is there in this category, is ginger. So ginger is equally very, very important. And I think these are some of the things where we have an edge over other countries. And as in turmeric, we are the largest producer. In many things, we are the largest producer. Now in milk also, we are the largest producer. So all these things has a tremendous potential for export. And one hallmark of this government has been, whatever they do with a vision of, big vision they have for everything. They have a roadmap. I think that adding these kind of products where every farmer of this country can participate and creating an ecosystem that each and every small, big, everybody, even farmers or small entrepreneurs, they can enter into this ecosystem and create value for in their own lives, also contribute to the economy, to their area, and thereby generating employment for millions of people. So these are the initiatives where most people, can come together and generate value. I think this is the excellent idea, and it will definitely create value in terms of export and generate employment for many people.
Point well taken. I'll go to Mr. Gopal Krishna Garwalji for this final comment on today's show. The constitution of board will happen now. The board will be constituted. How important is the constitution of this board in a right manner to ensure that the target is achieved? Do you think a huge search and selection will happen now? because the government is speaking of researchers, bureaucrats, businessmen, cultivators, everybody into this board.
I think the sector progresses when the stakeholders who are involved into the day-to-day operations in that area, when they come together in a structured way, then the sector grows. And setting up a board is an important aspect or the model where you move ahead of the bureaucrat, because otherwise everything is decided by the ministry alone. And then there are certain areas which require domain knowledge and focused approach, and those who are stakeholders, they themselves drive that areas of growth. I think the board is a right mix of this combination where stakeholders are brought into it. They have the interest into that area and they have the domain knowledge. And it is in addition beyond the only the bureaucratic setup that the ministries had, and it adds value to the whole operations. And it also gives them certain power, because otherwise you can have only consultant, but consultants are only doing advisory role. In a board, you also dispense some powers to the board, and you also give some funds, etc., for the activities. So I think the structure of board is very effectively implementation, and Prime Minister Modi ji's vision has always been that with the vision you should implement it on the ground. So board is the right structure to implement the vision and the potential on the ground.
Okay, that's very interesting. We look forward to the constitution of this board when we'll do a show again. Mostly we'll be happy to have the board members on the show of National Turmeric Board. We look forward who comes from the states, because there will be nominees from the states, nominees from Commerce Ministry, nominees from other ministries. I think this all should happen in the next 2 months. It will be very interesting to follow this in an area where India is a leader, which is Ayurveda, and turmeric forms one of the bases of Ayurveda. Turmeric is used in medicines extensively. Let's see how this goes, but an ambitious target to achieve. And I think, God willing, this will happen. Thank you so much for your time,
Thank you.
Mr. Gopal Agarwal, as usual, for your insights, and Dr. Ranjit Mehta from PhD.
Thank you.
It's always pleasure to talk to you, Tarunji, on important issues like policy, public policy. They are very important areas that you identify and bring them to the people.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.